Hi, it's Margaret Seconet, and welcome to another session with me and to my YouTube channel. So, when we evaluate the feng shui of a property, we are determining the different areas and spaces and their usage. The non-living spaces or areas that aren't enclosed, such as the garden, the patio, or the garage or the carport, are excluded usually from this evaluation. Now, the reason being these areas are not living spaces. So, if you work, but in your garage, let's say, then it would be considered part of the living space. And so, how do we start mapping the chi energies of these areas here, especially your garage, which is our topic for today? We first determine if it is part of the house or not. So as you can see from this photo, you can tell that this garage is not attached to the main house. So when this happens, you can actually be assured that when you're plotting the chi map or when you're doing the compass mapping of your main house, this garage would not actually be taken into consideration. So like this one, this is very visible that it is not attached. Likewise with this other detached garage that you see here. Now there are also other types of garage, and especially like this one, this is a carport and it's not enclosed. So usually because of the fact that we just use it for storage, okay, that's what we have to determine. Either we just using it for storage, or is it a living space? Is it does it become part of your home because you're using it? So like in this photo, this carport is just being used as a storage space. So it's also not enclosed, so it's not going to be part of your compass mapping of your house. Okay. Now there are some garages that are actually, obviously it is part of your home. It is in under the same roof, that type of thing, like in this photo. So in this type of situation, then you are going to be considering this garage as part of your home, especially if you're using it. So there's another type of garage like this one. It's also under the same roof, the type. So the question you have to be asking is it part of your living space, right? But then the thing is, when you're asking that question, if it's part of your living space, you're also going to be asking, what are you using that garage for? Are you using it mainly for storage, or are you using it for a work or hobby room? Okay, so that also makes a very big difference, right? Now, if you're using it like a hobby room, like in this photo, it's a billiard room, that type of thing, then of course you're using it. So it's really part of your living space. Now, if you're also working in it, then of course it is part of your living space. So whether you are supposed to be including this garage as part of your living space, then definitely it is part of your living space. Okay, so to summarize, if you use your garage as a work room or hobby room, then it is considered as part of your living space and should be considered in your feng shui evaluation. Now, if you're using it as a storage, then it's not part of your living space, especially if it's not enclosed or if it's also detached. Okay, so usually if you're doing a compass mapping of your house, you can actually safely do this portion by just doing this portion here, especially when this area here is not being used as a living space. So you're not working in it, you're not doing anything in it. Okay, so so when it's enclosed, yeah, I know it's a bit tricky, but in this situation, you can safely just do the compass map and just do the energy mapping from here. This one can, especially if this is just a storage space. Okay. Now there's also another type of T mappings, usually we do the how do you call it? Can you see this? Anyway, we usually, how do you call it? Use the different levels. So let's say you have first floor, you have the second floor, that type of thing. Okay. So when we do our mapping, each floor will have, each floor will have their own mapping. So usually we have the ground floor, and then you have the upper floor where, usually have the bedrooms and that type of thing. So we do, like when it's for a property, we do two separate mapping. We have the compass mapping energy for the second floor. We also have the compass mapping energy for the ground floor, where you will find your living room, your kitchen, that type of thing. Okay. So if your garage is detached and it's somewhere outside and it's not part of your living space, I mean, you're not using it at all, then of course that's fine. You can actually, how do you call this? Don't consider that as part of your feng shui evaluation. Okay. Now, if it's part of your, house, then you have to consider it, especially if it's mapped in such a way that takes up a lot of space in your home. Then it is considered to be part of your space. So let's say when you're how do you call this? When you're thinking of renovating, or when you're thinking of, let's say, turning a garage into an apartment or a living space, that type of thing. I know there are some people who have actually turned their how do you call this, attached garage into a second living room or that type of thing. So when that becomes when that happens, then it becomes part of your property. Okay. And then when you're mapping the T map, then you have to map the whole thing. Okay. Now, if you're actually turning a garage into a living space, but your garage is actually a detached garage, then that also is different. Then this garage will have its own T mapping. Okay, so you will do the compass mapping with this, because it is not attached to the main house at all. Okay, so when the people are asking for consultations, then you have to consider this. Okay, you have to consider this difference. Okay, so when you're turning your garage, let's say, into a living space, and it is pretty much part of your home, then that area will have a different set of energies. Your garage will also have different set of energies that is part and parcel of your home. Okay. Now, if you're turning your garage, a detached garage, into a living space, that one will also have its own energy. So an evaluation sometimes of this type of garage turned into a living space will be a little bit different from the evaluation, or if you're doing feng shui consult from this other property here, because you have to take into context the whole area now. Okay, it is not just simply this portion here. It's not just unless what you're only doing is just to if you know what you're doing is just to analyze the form of that particular space. It's like like a kitchen. You analyze the kitchen itself, you analyze the bedroom itself, or you analyze the office space itself. Okay, but if you want to map out the whole T map, then you have to consider the energies, the surrounding areas, the whole property, into consideration. Okay, so I hope I'm not making it less clear, but I know some of you have been asking about garage, And yes, there are certain types of garage which is a little bit more favorable than the other ones. And of course, it's better to probably have a detached garage. I know sometimes you can have a garage like this other girl, like in the photo I just showed you guys. Let me double check. If you have how do you call it, a garage that's similar to this photo here, sometimes you have to be sure or make sure what's above it. So like this one and this other one here. So if this garage is just below let's say a bedroom, or then it's a little bit more unfavorable, because what happens is the occupants or the person sleeping in that bedroom is actually absorbing the sa qi, or the negative energy that's coming from the garage, from the car, from the exhaust gas and that type of thing. And we know in reality that some things have negatively happened with the garages that are with similar types of garage like this. Okay, so anyway, if it's a bedroom up above, then the negative energy from below, from the garage, is also going to permeate up to the bedroom. So it's like the same circulation of air, the same circulation of energy. Okay. So anyway, would like to hear from me, or that you would like me to discuss, please do so. Okay. So I thank you again for you joining me today, and I hope to see you again soon. So subscribe to my channel, and it's Margaret saying bye-bye for now. See you soon.